This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Alpha Natural Resources, an energy company dedicated to respecting the land. Alpha Natural Resources, we power the world through the energy of our people. Consol Energy, a diversified fuel producer in the eastern United States, producing both coal and natural gas. Consol Energy, America's energy starts here. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community, promoting the free enterprise system to enhance economic competitiveness. Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.
Welcome to This Week in Richmond. Special welcome to all of our viewers, and a very special welcome to Sarah Scarbrough, who's the director or executive director of the Governor's Mansion. And there's some very exciting things happening here on Capitol Square. They've been happening for a while in relationship to the Capitol, but now it's the Mansion's year coming up. So we want to tell our viewers about what's happened already and then what's going to be happening on this summer, fall, and in the coming months about our Governor's Mansion. So Sarah, start and tell us some about this mansion and how old is it?
Well, we are almost at the 200th anniversary. March of 2013 will mark 200 years of the Virginia Governor's Mansion, the oldest occupied governor's residence in the United States. And so we already have began the celebration and are continuing ahead with it full steam. We actually in June had a family reunion for former First families and descendants.
Let me interrupt you there, because while we're talking about the reunion, we'll show the viewers some of the pictures that were taken. One was taken down at a lower level in the yard.
In the garden.
And then one of the pictures they'll see will be of 6 of the governors, and another of 6 governors and 7 first ladies. Not all of them, but all who could be there. So tell us more about that event while our viewers are seeing some of those pictures.
It was such a fabulous night. We had the governors and first ladies that you mentioned. All together, we had 39 governors' families represented, including some colonial governors who had descendants there, as well as some of Patrick Henry's descendants on up to the McDonald family and their children that were able to attend. And as a part of this, we ask each of the guests to bring something that represents that administration so that we can display those items starting this December during the holiday decoration time, and then also through the bicentennial year. And we just really got some fabulous items from the families, one of which I have with me today. It's from Governor Trinkle's family. When Governor Trinkle was in the mid-1920s, his little son, who's pictured here, Billy, had a sparkler and accidentally hit the Christmas tree, and there goes the mansion up in flames. Well, Mrs. Trinkle had to run upstairs to get her son Lee out of the bed, and because the smoke and fire was so bad, she had to actually throw Lee out of the window, and then she had to jump out of the window after him. Well, during that time, her wedding rings melted to her finger, and so they had to cut the rings off of her finger, which I have right here with me that you can see. On the top is Miss Trinkle's ring that they cut off of her finger, and then on the bottom is Governor Trinkle's ring as well that they had. And with that, they also have a letter. Will Trinkle brought these rings with him when he came. He's in Roanoke, and a relative, and they were willed to him. So we have the rings, and then also have the letter that came along with it, describing that these were the rings that she had that were cut off her hands during the fire. So pretty incredible. So we'll have this as well as many other things on display during the holidays.
Oh, that's quite interesting. Bring that photograph back up, And is Will the little one that we're seeing, or is he the taller, older one? Do you know which one?
Well, he is the one, little Billy, is the one who caught the fire.
Oh, okay.
And then this is the older one, Lee, who they had to throw out of the window.
Wow. Yeah.
So
So a sparkler can do
a
it.
sparkler can do it, that's right. So
Yes. Well, it's all the emphasis on fire safety, particularly during summer months.
that's
Well,
right.
Tell people that sparklers even did damage in the governor's mansion.
During December.
Right, during
So.
that time. But some of the people that were there, you said they were from 30-some different governors, former governors' families. Around how many people do you think were there at that event?
Quite a bit. We had probably right under 300 people there. So they were spawned inside and outside in the garden, and just a really nice event to lead into the bicentennial of the mansion next year. We also had a gala at the end of July, which was really fabulous. We had a lot of the sponsors of the book that I'll talk about shortly with you, but we had all of them there, as well as some other great representatives of Virginia who also attended. So that was really a great kickoff, a Bicentennial Eve Gala that we had to also lead up to the anniversary.
Excellent. We were talking some before we started taping, and we are sure that far more than 50 governors' families have lived in that mansion over the years.
That's right.
And that, I mean, it is a historic building. People come here, I know, and see Jefferson's Capitol, but it's only 25 years older than that mansion.
That's right.
And I think that it's one that has not always been that accessible and open for people who would be coming in as tourists to do anything other than to see the outside.
Exactly, and it hasn't always been as historically appropriate as well. Jinx Holton, Governor Holton's wife, really pushed for an initiative to bring back furniture that is historically appropriate through the Citizens Advisory Committee, and she really worked hard, and that's continued through. And of course, Mrs. Gilmore, Governor Gilmore's wife, did a fabulous renovation of the mansion during that administration. And then now, under the McDonald's, they've done a lot of things to add on to what the Gilmores have done. We got the parquet floors refinished. For years, First Ladies had been told that they couldn't be saved. And these parquet floors, which are so historical with the mansion, nobody wanted to dispose of them. And fortunately, there's a new technique out that Mrs. McDonald found, and she did some research to make sure that it was historically appropriate, and they are just absolutely beautiful. No one ever knew all of the inlay designs that they had until they stripped years of bowling alley wax actually off of them. We've gotten the roof replaced, which was great and definitely much needed. And the front south garden has been completely renovated thanks to Beautiful Gardens. They came in and designed a great layout and got the flowers and bushes donated by various greenhouses around Virginia. So we've certainly been busy in preparation, but very excited of the things that have been done.
You know, one thing I think that our viewers may not know, and that is that private contributions have over the years have enabled this to occur, because some may be saying, oh, that's where they're spending all the money, you know, the General Assembly and the governors have spent money on that, but it's really been people stepping up with small and large contributions that have enabled this to occur.
That's right. It really has. We try not to use taxpayer dollars for much that goes on there. Of course, the basic functioning, but beyond that, with the renovations that I just referred to, we are lucky to have a lot of things donated, but we have been busy at fundraising, so, and as has the Gilmores and others, to get these special projects done.
Yes.
So it's
Well, now you've made a couple of references to a book.
Yes.
What, tell our viewers something about the book, and I think we have something we could even show them on the screens, partially while you're talking.
Right. Well, this is something that we began working on as soon as this administration started. The book, First House, 2 Centuries with Virginia's First Families, is really going to be the centerpiece of our bicentennial celebration. And I like to refer to it as If the Walls Can Talk. the never seen and heard before stories of the families that live there, the kids, the pets, the marriages and wedding celebrations, prom dinners that they've had there, the ghost. And so it's really about the families that have lived there, all politics aside. And there's certainly some juicy stories in there. Some will make you laugh out loud. Others might make you tear up a little bit with beautiful pictures illustrating them all. We've got a fantastic Virginia historian who has written the text, Mary Theobald. David Baldacci actually wrote the introduction, and then the layout, as you saw the cover a few moments ago, is just beautifully done by Carol Roper-Hoffler, who has done that. So we are very excited. Actually, October 6th, which is a Saturday coming up very quickly, we're having the Turning the Pages of Time scavenger hunt. So it will start at 11 a.m. at the mansion, and it'll be a scavenger hunt for different things relating to the book throughout Richmond, the various historic homes through Richmond. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're anticipating a lot of people. All of that information is on the mansion website, and we certainly encourage people to register before. And then the following Thursday, October 11th, we will have the press conference book launch in front of the mansion with the governor and first lady, our author Mary Theobald. David Baldacci will be there as well, and many of our sponsors of the book, and it's open to the public. That's at 2 p.m. October 11th. Following week, October 17th, we have a talk and read book event at the Library of Virginia. That starts at noon, and then before and after that, we'll have VIP tours of the mansion going on for folks who are interested. And then events that will follow all the way through October, we'll have the birthday party of the mansion at Capitol Square on March 16th and many other things. So we are really looking forward to this.
So a scavenger hunt, let's go back to that, because that will be the first upcoming kind of public. So if someone watching you now and listening to you said, I'd like to be in on that scavenger hunt, what do they need to do other than showing up? What else do they need to do?
We would encourage them to check the mansion's website, which is executivemansion.virginia.gov, or our Facebook page, where we will have all the information. They can find that under Virginia's Executive Mansion. But we do encourage people to pre-register, so we'll know how many that we have. They can do it on their own, but of course it may be a little bit more fun to do it on a team of 4, whether it's some friends coming or families with children. It'll certainly be a family fun event. We'll have a band playing here on Capitol Square while people may be cheering on the teams, and of course a fabulous prize for the winning team as well.
Is the prize a secret?
Yes, you'll have to wait and see. We might release a little bit of information right before, but it's going to be something that will be wanted and sought after, I can assure you of that.
Very, very nice. Now, and it's all in one day.
That's
so
correct.
It's not one of these scavenger hunts that takes a week or more. So it's a day long. Is it a full day or part of a day?
It'll probably be we'll start at 11 a.m. and
Okay.
run till about 2 that afternoon. So about a 3-hour excursion throughout the city. So we're really excited to also incorporate the other historic homes in Virginia. Actually, we are just announcing this week that we're declaring 2013 as the year of the Virginia Historic Home. The governor and first lady are really excited to put forth this initiative that not only will promote the Virginia Executive Mansion, but also all of the other fantastic historical homes throughout our state. And so that all the information for that will also be on our website and Facebook. But one of the first activities to promote other homes will be this scavenger hunt. So that may be a clue in and of itself right there.
And then let's go back, because you rattled off all those different events. The next one after the scavenger hunt, then, is that the book unveiling, or?
It is October 11th. That is the first time that the public will have the opportunity to see the book, purchase the book, and maybe get some autographs while they're there at the press conference. But it'll be, as I said, open to the public right in front of the mansion with the governor, first lady, Mary Theobald, David Baldacci, and many others. So you don't need reservations to come to that. It's just, as I said, open to the public, and everyone could come on in. And that is at 2 p.m. on October 11th.
And then there's something, a book launch tour or something at the Library of Virginia? Or
Yes, that is the following week, October the 17th at noon. Mary Theobald and the First Lady will be there talking about the book, talking about the things that never made it in the book for various reasons, about her research behind it and how she went about all of that, she meaning the author, and really kind of give a behind the scenes of the behind the scenes book. So certainly going to be really fascinating. And before the talk and after the talk, the mansion will be open for VIP tours. With that said, they are almost full. So if people would like to attend, we certainly encourage them to make a reservation for that tour, which can be done. All of that information's on our website, or they can call the mansion at 804-371-2642 and set up a tour.
yes, we'll give that phone number again. So if folks didn't get it then, we'll make sure we give it again before the program ends.
Sounds good.
We'll do that. Our viewers have gotten the impression that you're very excited about all of this.
Yes.
And you've had some great people I know to work with. To tell our viewers some about, I mean, of course, a small staff that you all do the work, but you have first ladies that are working with you, former first ladies.
We do. We call ourselves Team Mansion, and it certainly has been a team effort to pull off everything that we have and everything that we're going to. The First Lady has really just brought in a fantastic staff to work there and do some great things both at the mansion and throughout the Commonwealth as well. And Mrs. McDonald, has really engaged a lot of the former First Ladies. Actually, earlier this month, we unveiled the portraits of the former First Ladies, the 10 living former First Ladies. As we all know, the governors get their portraits done every administration and are displayed at the Capitol right across the street. But the First Ladies really didn't have their portraits done at all. There's very few First Ladies that have them. We're fortunate to have Mrs. Tazewell hanging in the mansion. But other than that, they're at places you would never think. Museums in New York and California. And we've had some trouble bringing them back to Virginia. So Mrs. McDonald thought it was very important to start painting portraits now of the living First Ladies. So we had all of those unveiled. We had 5 female Virginia portrait artists who painted those portraits, and they're just beautiful, going to be displayed at the Capitol, at the mansion, and other places throughout Virginia. We'll have a traveling road show throughout the bicentennial as well. So it's really been a joy to work with the former First Ladies and have them back and hear stories that happened during their administration, many of which are documented in our book. So we've really, really been blessed with the great team that we have.
Now, some people are no doubt are trying to say 10 former First Ladies. Who is the one that goes back the farthest?
Mrs. Godwin.
Mrs. Godwin.
Mrs. Godwin, she was one of the first ones to get her portrait done, and it is beautiful. So if you haven't gotten an opportunity to see them, I encourage you to. But she is the one from the furthest away.
Mm-hmm. That was a fantastic project when that was announced, because it has been probably a big oversight over the years not to have good portraits done.
That's right. And between every great man, there's a great woman. So there's a great First Lady behind all of the governors who've come through Virginia. And we were able to do this through the fundraising the First Lady did from Dominion and Altria and a few other funders to make this project possible.
So now that this has started, that will mean when we have our first woman governor, then her spouse will get his
That's
get
right.
his
The
portrait
first
done.
husband will have to get
He'll
his
have
done.
to get his done as well.
That's right. We'll certainly have to follow suit and not let the tradition die down.
Now, tell our viewers before our time's out, beyond all of this that you've been working on, what does it mean that you're the director of the mansion?
Well,
and how did you get a position like that? Because that sounds like such a delightful one that really gives you lots of opportunity to do exciting projects.
It really is. It truly is a blessing. I've known the McDonalds for several years through my involvement with politics, and so when Governor McDonald won governor, I loudly vocalized my interest in working for
Right.
his administration because he's just a fabulous individual, as is the First Lady and their whole family. So I submitted my resume and interviewed again, and was blessed to be offered the position. But really, I oversee everything that goes on there and facilitate and coordinate everything that goes on there, from whether it's a plumbing issue or to make sure the garden and the grounds, or events, which is the largest part. As we know, the governor really is a people person and a very humble person, and likes to ensure that this is the people's house he lives in, so he makes sure the people get to see it. So we have various groups in. We had Garth Brooks come to the mansion for a reception when he was in Ashland filming his movie Unanswered Prayers. We had Steven Spielberg and his team come to the mansion for a reception when he was in town last year filming Lincoln. And then, of course, they filmed at the mansion, too, which was quite an event in and of itself. There's a lot that goes into those productions. And then we've had a lot of other really fabulous groups come in, and we'll host an event for them.
And what about the times that the public has an opportunity to, whether they're scheduled tours or holiday times? There's some exciting things about the bicentennial that you've mentioned, but what are other times that the public has an opportunity to do more than see that beautiful facade that they can see?
Well, as I said, it is the people's house. So we love to have tour groups, whether it's a family or a couple visiting out of town, school groups, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, whoever. But we are open for public tours on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. People are able to walk up, but we do encourage them to make a reservation, because you never know if you come wanting a tour if it'll be booked or if we'll have an opening. So they could call the number we mentioned earlier.
Give that number again.
804-371-2642.
371-2642.
You got it? You got it.
Okay.
So they could call and
Good.
make a reservation there. And then we'll have, of course, the tree lighting at Capitol Square, which is a long tradition. This year is going to be extra special because it's right on the eve of the bicentennial. So we'll have all that information about the date and time will be listed on the website and the Facebook page. And then we'll have an open house right after the tree lighting at the mansion, which will be the first time the public can see the holiday decorations, which again will display some of the fabulous things that we got. And then we'll have other events throughout the year to also engage the public.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes.
Those are the regular days. And make a reservation to make sure if you really want to see the mansion.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. We would love to have you, or, well, you've been there, but
Yes.
anybody else.
Right.
It really is a spectacular building that it's just absolutely beautiful. I've been told by people who've been to many governor's residence throughout the United States that it is the most beautiful one, and certainly the most historical one. So we are very proud of the mansion, and the McDonald's have done so much to further its beauty and its historical integrity. So
While there may be some that are larger and
right.
scattered throughout the other 49 states, there's not one with that kind of history.
there really is not. There really is not. That's had all of as many governors, as many wonderful families, as many presidents and other dignified guests. Ours certainly has the most history, that's for sure.
Okay, let's run back through the October times coming up again. You've got them memorized, so I won't trust my memory, but trust yours. So what's the first? First is the scavenger hunt?
Yes, scavenger hunt, Saturday, October the 6th, 11 a.m.
Okay.
October the 16th, October the 11th is the book press conference, the book launch at the mansion at 2 p.m.
Yeah, and let me stop your flow right there. Is that, are people pre-ordering the book, or is that the time you really place you get it right then?
We've had a few pre-sales, but that opportunity is no longer going on.
Okay.
So they will actually be able to purchase their book right there at the mansion that day.
Excellent. So, okay, that's the second event. Then the third one?
October 17th. That's the one, the behind-the-scenes talk with the author and First Lady at the Library of Virginia at noon. then with the VIP tours of the mansion before and after that.
It's going to be a great bicentennial year, and with all these things prior to that, it's just going to be building up to it in a fantastic way.
It really is. So definitely stay tuned for the Blue Ridge PBS, which is a good friend, is doing a fabulous documentary on the mansion that will be shown on the actual birthday of the mansion, March 11th. And then I briefly mentioned earlier, March 16th is the mansion's birthday party in Capitol Square.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to all these events.
Great. Thank you so much.
This Week in Richmond is made possible in part by Alpha Natural Resources, an energy company dedicated to respecting the land. Alpha Natural Resources, we power the world through the energy of our people. Consol Energy, a diversified fuel producer in the eastern United States, producing both coal and natural gas. Consol Energy, America's energy starts here. The Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the voice of the Virginia business community, promoting the free enterprise system to enhance economic competitiveness. Additional support is provided by these sponsors. And by the members of Virginia's public television stations. Thank you.